Cameron said that he always wanted to be married. He is gainfully employed, and that he did not bring any baggage to the relationship with Claire.
2 out of 3 is a good percentage. 67%.
He said he didn't have any baggage.
That brother's got more baggage than on a conveyor belt at the airport.
Welcome to Clip Alerts.
Today, we're going to be talking about Lifetime Network's reality based TV series, Married at First Sight, season number 17, episode number 9.
Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please give us a like and send us your comments. Your comments are very interesting, and some of them are very funny. So we appreciate you taking the time. Let's talk about Claire and brother Cameron.
Mm.
Cameron acting up. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Claire decides that she had a free day and she will go out to Cameron's place of work.
Yeah, and hook a brother up with a sandwich. Nice little wifey move right there, man.
Yeah, and she is impressed by what he showed her,
Mhm.
and to add to that, he had her help him work on a bike, and she
Right.
liked that.
Turn a few wrenches.
Yes, she
Yes,
liked that.
nothing matter with
So
that.
so back at the house, they now have to prepare for the event.
Mhm.
And evidently they had a prior conversation about who gonna get what.
Right.
And I believe Cameron was supposed to get the food.
That was his assignment.
And he came home with what? No food.
And hands in his pocket.
And I don't know about you, but anyone having an event at the house with people coming, you want to make a good impression.
Of course.
So your food got to be on point.
Right.
I was stressed out when he came through the door with nothing in his hand. And he
And she
said,
should have been.
he's gonna order something, but closer to the time when the party is supposed to jump off.
Hmm.
And then she was upset, but then she changed her mind. She said, "Okay, you can order the food closer to the party." I
Hmm.
don't know what kind of deal that is, but that would have stressed me out even further.
Well, Claire was on her on a good way down that road right there, wasn't she?
So he goes and takes a shower, and she goes to get dressed. And when she comes back, she asks him whether he hot up the oven, the food in the oven now, because now they have food. And then he said no, he turned off the oven because something was getting a little brown and crusty.
That brother nervous. It's clear he nervous. And to make matters worse, right? I think it was right about that time that Cameron revealed unexpectedly that none of his friends would be coming
Right, and
to the function.
she was surprised because she had a good time with them at the wedding, and they got along well. So she's like wondering, well, like, what's up?
Mhm.
And then he says, like, okay, well, they decided that they have other commitments. Now, my question is, this clearly was arranged prior to. It's not on the day of. So why was she told that they were coming, and now all of a sudden they have other things to do? So in my mind, Cameron's conversation is getting a little iffy at this point.
Brother
Did he
might
invite them or did he not? You know what I'm saying?
think the brother might be capping.
So Claire's friend Amy, and she got a jug with her because at one point Claire was drinking out of a pot.
I don't think there was any water in that jug. Do you? I think there was some adult beverage content.
Yeah, they were blowing up that tequila or mimosa or something like that they were having.
Yeah.
But anyway, Claire and her friend are teasing Cameron a little bit. She tells him that the party is now going to have all therapists.
Right, and he seemed to be okay with it, and he didn't seem to be, I guess, uncomfortable in any way socially, talking or conversing with Amy.
So, in
But
a
then,
lighthearted way,
right, right, he was
Amy
okay with it.
says to him, "Well, what's your relationship with your father like?" Just in joke, because she and Claire are laughing when she
Right,
asked him. So it wasn't a serious question.
right,
And remember, that's supposed to be a party.
right.
So they're not trying to do therapy.
Not a session like that,
So he says, well, his father is on is terminally ill
and
or
not
on his deathbed.
and not only that, too, their relationship is distant.
Right.
So
When asked by Amy, does he know, or maybe Claire asked, does he know you're participating in this? He said no.
yeah, and so at that point, I think Claire was clearly blindsided by the revelation of this information. in front of one of her girls, Amy, and I know I was blindsided by it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even part of the scenario as a viewer,
I think that's something that he should have talked to her about
clearly,
because it's so important,
right,
regardless if he and his father are tight or not.
right,
And to blurt it out without telling her, I thought that was, like I said, passive aggressive. Additionally, when they got married, he told her that they're going to have a second wedding in New Zealand for his friends and family. And when asked whether he told anyone that he was participating in the show, he said no.
right.
Then you were capping then. Because how do they not know that you're participating in the show and you tell Claire that you're going to go to New Zealand and have a second wedding?
Mm.
So, something about Cameron, maybe he doesn't trust Claire enough, but he's just giving her partial information. Claire's other friends, he started opening up with Ross and Evan.
Right, right. But let me go back for a quick second, if you will.
Hmm.
Okay, you could not, if you're Cameron, have anticipated that kind of question coming up. Okay,
Hmm.
but I would think that he's quick enough and fast enough on his feet mentally to be able to answer that in such a way where he could have kind of slid out of it gracefully without having to expose the fact that he and his wife hadn't talked about that prior to.
When he sits down with Claire's friends, he tells them that the marriage is rocky. And he also said that instead of swimming, he feels like he is sinking.
Yeah.
And that's not good for anyone.
This whole episode, from my vantage point, makes it seem like Cameron was socially awkward for this experience and just uncomfortable the entire way.
Well, he may have been that, but he was also passive aggressive in how he broke things down to her friend. Made sure that stuff he did not tell Claire, he revealed it to these strangers, mind you. Made sure his friends were not there, so it tells me he may have had an agenda and may have planned it like that. So I don't see how a guy with a personality who came from another country and built a business for 10 years who has been successful all of a sudden feels like he is sinking because he's now married in this situation. So for me, because I know he could speak up, because I know he can hold his own, I think he's being passive aggressive in some ways. He may be a little angry with Claire for her holding back on the sex piece. For him, connection may be sex, and she's not giving that up just yet.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that. I also recall him saying to both Ross and Robert that, while he really is glad and happy about just his whole marital status,
Mhm.
okay, he would not do it again this way. And that kind of led me to believe that he was very uncomfortable about having gone through this process to meet his wife
I don't
in
know.
a
The
very
the
unique and unorthodox way.
the way he used words to say I wouldn't do it this way,
Hmm.
to me it's saying a whole lot.
Okay.
Claire's friend said that Claire may have that sort of personality that, it's hard to get to know because of what she does. That's understandable. But at the same time, it's unfortunate that he doesn't feel safe enough with Claire to tell her what he's actually thinking, but prefers to blurt it out in the company of her friends who he does not know.
Yeah, and in effect, I guess, and you correct me if I'm wrong, he outed their relationship and or their lack thereof of relationship as it relates to the communication component.
These are people who don't know each other.
Right.
And remember, they openly and willingly and voluntarily signed up for this show.
And said yes on their in their vows
So
on
I'm
everything.
not sure what his expectation is that she should what give it up because they're now married. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
get
and
it.
he's making an effort. So hey, look, she got the
No, but if he only wants a warm place to put it,
she got a
that
problem.
ain't gonna be cool either.
No, of course not, because they went about this process in a very unique way. Or you can't put the cart before the horse, and the reason why is because it'll go downhill quickly.
Right.
And if it goes downhill quickly, No, I don't need to tell you which one is going to go faster.
And Claire's someone who needs to trust you.
Hmm.
In fact, on the after party, she got so upset talking about
Yeah.
Cameron's behavior and him not telling her what is in his heart. She thought that it was upsetting. And someone implied that it could be, a little bit of, oh, woe is me, I'm the victim. Or maybe it's me who thinks.
No, I think that maybe system right here, but yeah, she was upset on the
She
after
was,
party,
yeah,
and to me, justifiably so, because it seemed Cameron made it seem as though he didn't want his friends to meet her, right?
yeah, that's exactly right.
And I'm like,
And
that's
she
not a
has a
good look.
memory of them having a good time at the wedding.
Right, right.
So of course that's going to be a little hurtful if you know what I'm saying. And I think he did it deliberately.
I'm hoping his motivation was not deliberate, but
That's just my 2 cents.
okay. All right. Well, I just think that he mishandled that situation. I think that you're right. There may be some issues surrounding the truth and his motivation about why he really did that. And I still say the brother was socially awkward in terms of not not being up to speed or up to par on the food aspect of it. This was not in his bachelor days, and he was not inviting. They were not having guests over to their new apartment to watch a game
But
on
I
Sunday.
understand if you're a bachelor, never have experience gathering and what to do and what to prepare, but at least follow instructions.
Basic and elementary, huh?
Let's keep it simple.
Hmm.
Follow instructions. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's all it needs to be said, really.